All right, guys, today we're going to talk about how to build attraction. So building attraction is actually really powerful. It's one of the things which helps really thoroughly achieve a 10 out of 10, but also keep it at a 10 out of 10 forever long term too. Now, attraction is another word for rapport or likability. What we see mostly, couples, they start with the attraction up here, and then over the years, the attraction goes down and down and down until the couple doesn't like each other very much and they break up. The key is keeping that likability, keeping the attraction really high. Super, super important. That's the key to achieving a 10 out of 10. But the real question is, how do we do it?
One of the most important things is the way that we communicate to our spouse, in the words that we say, in the actions, in the tonality that we're presenting the words. There are a lot of keys that come into communication. There's your body language, there's the tone, there's the vocal pitch, there is the actual words that you're saying, there's how you're positioning your body when speaking.
A lot of people with communication, they do something which lowers attraction very fast, arguing. Arguing is a great way of making the attraction go down really fast. Never argue. Communicate normally, communicate nicely to each other. You don't have to agree, but don't argue.
There is a difference between a disagreement and an argument. A disagreement is two people bringing their opinions together and not agreeing in a civil, respectful way. Arguing is when we raise our voice and when we're putting nasty words into it and we're putting blame and putting repercussions on things.
It's unacceptable, guys. There's no room in relationships for disrespect or aggression. Never tolerate that garbage. Don't tolerate it within yourself either. So you want to communicate really well, then also we got to keep intimacy at a good level. I recommend doing it 3 times a week.
2 to 3 times, and if you can't manage that just spontaneously, what works well is a schedule.
Yep. So if you have kids and hobbies and work and everyone's super busy, schedule it in. It may sound not very spontaneous, but it just gets your engine rolling again, and then you'll get in the mood more and you'll be more spontaneous. So 3 times a week is good. 2 20-second hugs a day is good too. 2 20-second hugs a day. Also be good to see the husband or the boyfriend take the wife or the girlfriend out on a date, minimum every second week. A proper date.
And a proper date has 4 parts to it.
The husband asking the woman on a date, would you like to go on a date with me this Friday, honey?
Okay.
Say, I love you, right? And then when I do, open the car door for her, then we go and do some sort of activity, any sort of fun activity, then take her out to dinner, and then it's the end of the date, and then hopefully I did a good enough job that she wants to kiss me. So you want to go on those dates, intimacy, 20-second hugs, communicate effectively, dual goals. Dual goals makes a big difference.
Dual hobbies.
Dual hobbies. Hobbies make a big difference too. Doing a hobby together. It can be any sort of hobby.
Even if your partner does a hobby and the other spouse comes and watches, that's still being a part of that hobby and providing support and encouragement, which brings and builds up the attraction in your relationship.
Another good thing which builds attraction is making sure you're going well as an individual. Make sure your confidence, self-esteem, self-worth's at a good level. Work on your health and fitness, how you're doing in life in general, so you're genuinely an attractive person. If you're a complete slob and just a complete loser and super negative all the time, nobody's going to like you. Make sure you're positive, you talk well about yourself, make sure you work on your health and fitness, make sure you look good to a decent degree.
Another thing that's really good for attraction is embracing masculine and feminine energy, and that's where that last one comes in. Looking after yourself. You can't give more than you don't have. Than you have
in the tank, yeah.
So you have to look after yourself and fill your own cup and your own tank up before you can give it to anyone else. The overflow is what goes to everyone else.
It's what a lot of women mistake. So a lot of women put everyone else first, and that takes them out of their feminine energy, and then they become bitter and cynical and frazzled, and they're just not very attractive because they're putting everyone else first. In your feminine energy, you've got to put yourself first, and then you can give better to others. As a man needs to be more masculine than his wife. A wife should be more feminine than her husband. The traits of feminine energy: nurturing, caring, supportive, and joyous. The traits of masculine energy: leadership, ambition, decisiveness, and protection. Very important, very attractive traits. The opposite sex finds those traits extremely attractive. The better you step into those, the more attractive you're going to be. One last key with attraction: if you want to keep attraction high, you got to measure it and build it. Measure and build every day. Some ways to measure attraction. You can see now we have high attraction because we're touching. What would an example look like of low attraction? Space, not looking in my direction, closed off. That's a sign of low attraction. She doesn't need to say anything, her body language is saying it. Measure attraction. If it's not a 10 out of 10, get it to a 10 out of 10.
Definitely. Another thing that you can do is have like a whiteboard in your kitchen or your bedroom or something, and then you put /10, and then if someone feels like it's lower than a 10, which means the attraction is low, then they can put that score up, and it's not, you don't have to verbalize it, and then the other spouse just looks at it and they go, okay, cool, and then they go up to the person, they go, go, okay, how can I build it? What can I do to help? And it can be a discussion that can happen in order to kind of evaluate and find where the attraction level is. And then together you can build it. Remember, when it comes to a relationship, guys, you have you and the other person doing what's best for the relationship.
In conclusion, guys, always work as a team and always do what's best for the relationship. If you follow those rules, you're going to achieve a 10 out of 10.